Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Maybe today we'll read from this Nectar Devotion, actually. I'll read some. Yeah, I'm wanting to talk about these things. Krishna, that's what we'll do. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Just chant for a few more minutes and then we'll get into this. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. So don't go away. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I think we'll just go into this. I'm really eager to do this. I'm eager to do both, man, but we're going to do this here. I got the signal from Krishna. I am so fed up with people who say devotees are always humble. I am so fed up with that. That is so untrue. It's both true and untrue. Everything's a paradox when you get into this. Okay? So the last straw was my ex-wife. She said to me yesterday, she says, you're not really humble. Devotees are always humble. She's instructing me. And so I tried to explain what I'm going to explain here, and she wouldn't even listen. So that's proof. It's another level. She went down. She can't understand these very deep, intimate topics. And so that's what happens when you lose affection for the devotional family. You can't understand these wonderful topics here. Okay, so this is Nectar of Devotion, and it's chapter. Let's see, spontaneous, the character, devotional service, transcendental mellows. The qualities of Krishna. Okay, so one thing to know about the qualities of Krishna described in Nectar Devotion is there are, Krishna has like 60 in number, and it depends on what incarnation where they're exhibiting, showing an expression. But the devotees who are associates of Lord Krishna, they have up to, I think, about 55 in number. So these qualities that Krishna has, it starts to express through the devotees as they're developing, in their relationship, and becomes more and more into expression. Okay? So you remember Prabhupada said, my godbrothers just gave me nothing but depression and suppression and compression. So basically that's basically when a devotee is holding back from showing the more full range of qualities of the associates of the Lord. It's like a suppression. It's a suppression of those qualities. And so a devotee might just exhibit the qualities of humility. So like Prabhupada said, if one attains devotional perfection, this is also a Nectar Devotion, one should go around and act like a neophyte, because nobody will understand your mood. It's transcendental. And so the qualities of the devotees in Vrindavan, they look like the qualities of people in the mundane world, even in the modes of ignorance. There's qualities in the mode of ignorance here, passion and goodness. And so the qualities of the devotees in Vrindavan is the mirror opposite in its purified form. And so you're going to see that. You'll see that devotees are not always exhibiting a humble mood that is always inside them, underlying everything. But they are often like an actor on a stage, exhibiting different types of qualities that they have. Okay, so. Okay. So, qualities of Krishna. Personal features can be divided into, this is Nectar Devotion, chapter 21. And this will probably help the Belgium devotees because they don't have this book, I don't think, translated. So this will be a good opportunity that they can get to understand this chapter. So personal features can be divided into two. One is covered, and the other's feature is manifested. See, personality of God, personal qualities. See, covered and manifested. Yeah. So when Krishna is covered by different kinds of dress, his personal feature is covered. This is an example of his covered personal feature in Srimad Bhagavatam in connection with his Dwarka Leela. His resident. Now listen to this. Now this is a very interesting thing, and we'll talk about this. It shows you the farthest extent that this all goes. Okay? In his residence in Dwarka as a king, sometimes Krishna began to play by dressing himself like a woman. Now, isn't that interesting? No, don't we have that in the material world? You call that cross-dressing. See? So in the spiritual dimension, there's a cross-dressing also. And where does this cross-dressing here come from? It comes from Krishna. See? There it's beautiful. Here it's kind of controversial. People think, oh, cross-dresser, don't give him a job, stuff like that. It's not a very, have a kind of a lonely path here usually. But actually that quality comes from the spiritual world. Krishna likes to sometimes put on a dress. Now that's pretty, this is but this is, hey man, it's time for the birds and the bees. I'm here to sit down with the devotees and tell them how it really is. I mean, otherwise you'll never know. You'll think I had my ex come up to me and say that, and so many devotees say, hey, well, I can't have faith in you, or because you're not always humble. See, a devotee is always humble. See? So you're going to see that is completely untrue in their expression. I mean, it's true because it's always there. People often think if you never become angry and speak sweet, soft voice, give respect to others, etc., that is being humble. Yeah, but you see, the Maya uses that, and just like when the Putana obstacle in Vrindavan she externally looks very humble and very much like a sweet, affectionate mother, see? But that her heart is fierce inside, see? So sometimes the devotee, their heart is very soft and affectionate, but they speak harsh words. See, it's like, Putana also exists in the spiritual dimension, that quality in Krishna, and Lord Chaitanya exhibited that quality all the time. Outside, he would speak some harsh words, but inside his heart, he was feeling very affectionate for the devotees. And he sometimes would criticize and make faults of their good qualities as an indirect way of glorifying them. See, when you become an associate, you start to see how the Lord's nature, you start to be able to relish it or understand it. Otherwise, it's hidden by this, this yoga maya hides all these things. You can't really see. See? So there you go. He's a cross-dresser. Never hear the devotees talk about that much because they don't understand how to put it together. Everything here in this world is there in the spiritual world, but the Vaishnavas don't talk about it too much because people misunderstand and flip out. So, but it's our time to discuss this. If anybody's going to last here, you have to understand the qualities of a devotee because they're coming out more and more here. I'm not holding back so much. I'm just kind of just feeling more inspired to kind of just be free, to be me and myself as I am, really. And that flips a lot of people out, man. Because, see, when you're not under the devotional potency, the transcendental nature of the spiritual potency, then people, they they speculating what they think a devotee is, and they say, oh, a devotee is always humble. And you see a devotee angry or seeming resentful, vindictive. You see these qualities, these are bad qualities in the material world. But for a devotee that has the transcendental shelter, they're purifying force that up-levels. It's a thorn, but a transcendental thorn that plucks out a material thorn and purifies that covering. It's like a fire. It's like setting fire to wood. See, the wood is the material qualities, and you use the fire, which could be vindictiveness for vindictiveness, and it burns it up. So that's the Leela avatars. The associates in the Lord, they have this way of purifying the planet by just bringing the planet and the consciousness of people up to the point where they can accept the true nature of God and His associates in the spiritual world. So you have to come to the point of accepting the full range of emotions. Like I listed, you can go and see a whole list of human emotions and see that is all in Krishna and His associates. All of it. Sometimes the Lord, like we were reading in Chaitanya Mangal, in the first or second chapter, where Krishna comes to Rukmini, see, and he says, "Are you still mad at me? I'm feeling very guilty about what I said to you." So do you think he's joking? No. It's a transcendental mellow, this guilt. See, here, people, they come here, and they say, here, and the first thing that goes is material guilt. See? Material guilt goes. And they may not experience spiritual guilt yet, because it takes a while. You have to, the more you do bhajan under the shelter of the divine potency, which means under the shelter of a real guru, a Sadguru. See, we got that here. See, the more you do bhajan under that, the more the qualities start to arise, because they're suppressed in this world. And guilt and even envy is part of this world. You'll see now. I'm telling you, you're going to see things in the Leela that you never saw before, because you just, until you hear it first from the transcendental sound vibration, it doesn't wake it up. You don't see it. You don't see that Advaita comes and he was very jealous of a devotee that got more mercy than he did. See? And matter of fact, he felt that this one devotee, what was his name? It was the Bolya. Lord Chaitanya called him a Bolya and said, "I don't want to see your sorry face here. Get your face out of here." You see? That sounds like a negative thing, but that's purifying. Purified that devotee. And the Lord said, "Why did you?" He chastised him. Lord Chaitanya chastised the disciple of Advaita and said, "Get out of here, you rascal. I don't want to see your face. Really mean looking, seeming mean, okay?" And Advaita comes, he said, "I'm really jealous. How come you give him more mercy than you gave me? You beat me up with your fists and because I was preaching." And he was preaching Mayavadi, and the Lord came and said, how dare you preach this Mayavadi philosophy? I came here from the spiritual world to teach bhakti, devotion. And now you change your mind, you want to teach Mayavadi? And he started beating him with his fists. See, the Lord, violence. See, that's in Krishna. See, here in the world it's terrible. People don't like violence, and they should. You got to restrict people from material violence, otherwise this whole planet will be, a problem. See, but the devotees, like the Lord, he beat with his fists, so much so, Advaita, that this is all, you can read it in the book, man, Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Advaita's wife said, "Please stop. He's an old man. He may not survive your punishment." Of course he's going to survive. This is a pastime. But still, physical violence. See, Nityananda. See, I'm telling you guys things that that this has never been revealed, even though it's right there in the book, man. Unless you hear it, there's no revelation. You cannot relate to this. You have to hear the sound vibration. That's why they put it in the books and didn't say anything yet till it's time. Well, it's time for certain people. Yeah. See, Nityananda, he kicked. See, now he supposedly is exhibiting bad qualities. See, when you're an associate from Vrindavan, you have all these qualities, but they're all spiritualized. And if you've got impurities in your consciousness, you react. See, you react to it. Okay? So Nityananda kicked Shivananda Sen in the chest. Pretty heavy, man. You get the kick of Nityananda, man, that's going to knock you across the road, man. He holds up the whole planets. So knocked him down, man. And then, before that, he cursed his 3 sons to die. See? Cursed them. Cursed the devotee's son to die. That's pretty ignorant. Isn't that in the mode of ignorance? See, not when Nityananda does it, because it's a Vrindavan mood, all to support and purify the world. Even though people, they get flipped out, they think, what is this? And one of the devotees misunderstood. So this will help you understand what we're dealing with here and how this kind of preaching is an impossible task, has to be totally bona fide, has to be totally ordered by the Lord. That's why Prabhupada said, do more of this, do this as my approval. It's a big thing, man. See? Who can understand? Shiva, curse 3 sons to die. See, that's an action here in this world, in the mode of ignorance, to curse a devotee, an eternal associate, 3 sons to die. It's a terrible thing. But when Nityananda did it, it was a beautiful thing. And it caused purification of many different people in different ways. See? It's a thorn plucking out the thorn. So, first it purified Shivananda Sen's wife of her attachment to children. She said, Nityananda cursed our 3 sons to die. Crying her eyes out. There's attachment, see? The next person to purify was this Srikanta. Srikanta didn't have full faith in all Vaishnavas. And he took the side of his uncle, see, material attachment, somewhat in there, against Nityananda. See? So you take the old saying in the book, you take the side of one Vaishnava against another one, you're doomed. See? You're offender. Okay? So he took the side of Shivananda Sen. He said, how dare Nityananda act like that, kick my father, my uncle, and all this. See? And so anyway, he got purified because he became very depressed. See? Very distressed. See? And then when he went to Lord Chaitanya, he knew what he committed as fault. See? Oh, I see. Now, Shivananda Sen, that's the 2 main examples there. Now, Shivananda Sen, there are other people there. They all react differently. So Shivananda Sen picks himself up, comes up to Nityananda, very pleased at being kicked by the transcendental foot of Nityananda. He even said that. He said, I've attained everything by your foot touching my chest. Oh yeah, it knocked me across the road. So what? Your foot, which even the kings of the yogis can barely see. Lord Brahma barely ever sees your foot, and you put that foot on my chest. Okay? Now I've attained everything. Okay? I've attained all the 4 goals of life, including liberation, just by that touch. And not only that, I've also attained pure devotional service, being purified by the touch of your lotus feet. See, this is a purified devotee. Sees things as they are. See, the others see, so when one is fortunate, they get the uncommon association of such associates of the Lord. Be ready for all hell to break loose. See, because it's very rare. Lord Chaitanya is very rare. What I'm telling everybody here is very rarely heard. You can read it in a book and not see it. You think gurus see what I'm telling you that? Because if I kick them in the chest, which is not really me, or they would flip out. So you see what it means to be an associate of the Lord. You got to associate long enough where you're getting really purified by their qualities coming over you. So that means when if you come close to an associate of Lord Chaitanya, you're going to get purified, and it's going to be sometimes uprooting and up-leveling so many things. That's why it moves very fast at this point. See, and how wonderful it is that this woman is attracting my ecstatic love exactly as, Lord Krishna began to play by dressing himself like a woman. Seeing this form, Uddhava said, how wonderful it is that this woman is attracting my ecstatic love. This woman is attracting my ecstatic love exactly as Lord Krishna does. See, he didn't even know that Krishna, or this woman, was actually Krishna. He's such a good dresser, and he does this in the world. He's dressing himself as everything here, and we can't even detect him unless you're a devotee. Devotee, if you have love for Krishna, you can begin to see how he's taking a disguise. Sometimes it's hard, but you know because you're attracted to that. That's why here, the way it works is whoever's really becomes attracted to the devotees means they're purified inside, even though you don't know that devotee is an associate. And you see this a lot in Chaitanya Leela. And as I say, as I'm telling you all about this, you'll start seeing this wonderful display of how the Lord works, especially in his early Leela. The devotees didn't know why they were attracted to Lord Chaitanya, who was acting very proud. See, because they also thought a devotee is always humble, but the Lord was acting like a proud scholar. And they were wondering, well, usually we're not attracted to proud scholars at all. Any devotee is not attracted by a materially proud scholar, but the Lord was proud, and he was proudly declaring, I'm the best and the most and all of that stuff. And his associates had a hard time with it because they wondered, we really like this Lord Chaitanya, but why is he acting like this? He's acting like a materialist. They felt inside attracted. But the Lord was like dressing up. These are qualities. Sometimes in Vrindavan, the Lord would act very proud. Matter of fact, there was somebody who left Prabhupada and took re-initiation, which is not a good idea, because this guy, this neophyte disciple, criticized Prabhupada, saying, well, he got a little too close, and then he thought, Prabhupada, he's very proud. And a devotee is never proud, they're always humble. Well, that ain't the truth. See? That caused, he became an offender. See, because Prabhupada's pride was in relation to Krishna. He even said Prabhupada was very proud of his disciples. He was very proud of Krishna being displayed in this world. Proud of, see, because pride is there, pride of Krishna, proud of Krishna. Nandamar is very proud of his son. So, but persons that are not purified, they have material pride. They see the pride of a devotee, immediately fault-finding, criticizing. Immediately. That's it. Jump right up there. Don't even think. See, because it goes right into the fire. See, it sets fire to that quality, just brings it up. You see the flames coming up. They come right out. You notice that? All of a sudden, all these grave and so-called enlightened sannyasis and Brahmins, as soon as a real devotee starts to manifest their qualities here, all their pride they project on them. Say, ooh, look at, he's so proud, but they're proud. Really. The devotees may have pride, but it's a spiritual counterpart. It's used to uproot the pride in others. Bring it out. See, a person that is a proud person, they can hide it. See? But when you see the devotee in more full expression, see, expressing spiritual pride, like this, it brings that out. See? Usually they're holding it in, and they have it on a facade of humbleness. Oh, I'm Mr. Humble Pie. Yes, I'm Mr. Humble Pie. Yes. See, and the devotee starts to, strut around in this world, and they say, it brings out, oh, what is going on? Ooh, that guy's proud. I've seen this so many times. See? My ex-wife, she was such a fault finder, man. After a while, she said, oh, God, you have all these faults, man. You're not a real devotee. Let me go to the real devotees who are perfect. See, they don't understand. Perfect is devotion, man. Be perfect in devotion, perfect in love for Krishna. The Lord he's not looking at all your personal qualities. He's looking, is there real devotion there? And that's what you should be seeing in anybody. Is there devotion there? Is there faith in Guru? See? Those are devotional qualities. Faith in Guru, submissive and surrender to Guru. Challenging Guru, that's no devotional quality. People, when they challenge their Guru and they think they instruct their Guru, they think that's a beauty, and they think they're devotees. My people left here, they challenge everybody that does it. They're challenging the authority here, saying, "Oh, we have other authority." They put something else up, some wrong understanding up. Either, I'll put the Radhakund Babaji. See, he's higher than Gaurahari. I can go there. Or I'll put Prabhupada up. Of course he's higher, but, he's already appointed me as their instructors. They ain't going to make any progress. They're going to be in their illusion until they figure this out. He can act proud as he is the Lord in transcendental pride. Yeah, and again, see, people say, that's only for the Lord. Oh, really? No, that is for the devotee also. Because otherwise, how can the Lord sport with his devotees if they don't have qualities like that? How come we talked about this, or Johan did a little bit, touched on it. What is this? The Lord, the gopis get angry at him. See, he gets angry sometimes, and so do they. And they consider it service. Sometimes Krishna's thinking, wow, the gopis pulling my ear in great anger because I didn't appear to her and I did this. You see? So the devotee also, to reciprocate in devotional exchanges, also has to have these qualities. Otherwise, how can the Lord sport with somebody who doesn't have qualities? Sometimes the Lord, serves in that way, and sometimes they serve the Lord back and forth. Okay. Yeah, a devotee may, Prabhupada had transcendental pride, and you'll see those qualities here too. Much to the seeming what do they call it, consternation of the Vaidhi Bhaktas. They would like to suppress a lot of things I do here. Can be said of the Lord and the devotees. The devotees also have those qualities. They have their nature. It's not like, it's only the Lord has it and the devotee is just Mr. Humble Pie all the time. Well, how is the Lord going to sport with it? The Lord isn't controlled by this humble, awe and reverent mood all the time. He said, hey, man, I like people to play with, man. If they play with me, they got to fight sometimes. I fight, you got to fight. Come on, challenge me. And see, that challenging thing is a bad quality in the material world, but it's a wonderful quality for the devotees of Krishna. These qualities begin to awaken. Challenging Maya to a fight. What do you think they were doing here? I'm just, all devotees, they're just a little particle of an atom. Challenge this big Maya here. This Maya is huge. This is Krishna and his form is Maya. And devotees sometimes, because they feel so uplifted and inspired, challenge the Maya. They go, now challenge this. Yeah. Look at the cowherd boys. Govardhan Hill, Krishna had it lifted up, and he says, oh, they got their sticks and stuck it up there too, and say, we can also hold it up. He needs our help. So sometimes the Lord is very audacious, and devotees get really, it's audacious. Say, hey, yeah, Maya, I'll challenge you, man. It's almost ridiculous, but it's the Lord likes that. The Lord, and you people, if you're a devotee, you feel and the Lord will protect the devotee. He will empower the devotee to defeat Maya. Good question. He can act proud as he is the Lord of transcendental pride. Yeah. And the devotees also, they're under the shelter of the same potency. Hey man, the transcendental potency is transcendental potency. Personal potency gives shelter to, the Lord takes shelter of the transcendental potency. See? In the form of his devotees, he takes shelter of his devotees. Yeah. What do you think you guys are doing out there? You're taking shelter of the transcendental potency here. Who is that? You don't know. The Lord is, you're just servants of the Lord. Okay. Freddie says, how do you distinguish material pride from spiritual pride? Ah, good question. Well, if anybody wants to distinguish it, the only real way to do it is you have to go in the fire. Go in the fire, you have to face off a devotee he happens to use that quality, and he brings up all your crapola, all your stuff, all your material pride. And it goes in the fire, burns, and all of a sudden now you can relish the transcendental pride of a devotee. Okay? Got to get purified, man. And so devotees, just by their association, you get purified. Sober words of the Vedas don't attract me as much as the sidelong glances of my girlfriends. Exactly. Sidelong glances, or the mean, their anger is very attractive to Krishna. See, they're angry. He's angry. And they're angry because they get pleasure seeing Krishna. If they don't see him, they get angry about it. Or they get jealous if one of their gopi friends is enjoying with Krishna and they're not. They get jealous. Sometimes. Yamuna, because you are being cleared by Guru, you can see deeper and you will know. Exactly. You get cleared just by whoever can take the fire of this association up to this point here. That's why you can understand these things, like I do. Okay? Many people, they can't take. They just come and they turn the video on. We heard this already. They hear a couple of words and they gotta turn it off. They gosh. See, they can't. But they get burned. It's like that's enough. Okay, I'm just gonna go. Yeah, okay, there's these qualities here. Oh, I don't think I have the time or the energy. Maybe we'll do this in a couple of parts. I think we will. Okay, so now I think I need to get on with my services here. Oh boy, we got 10 people. Maybe I'll go a little, let me go, okay. All right, I'm going to read some of these qualities. I'm going to try and just push myself a little bit. So Rupa Goswami, after consulting various scriptures, has enumerating the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Now you're going to see, he's just going to enumerate all these things that people consider virtues. But even the faults, there's faults. They're also transcendental virtues. on the spirit. But he's just going to list these because people can't understand. They can't wrap their heads around, how these seeming negative things can be spiritual. Okay? So that's part of our teaching here, is to teach how you can do that. Go farther than this. Because you'll hear this stuff. He's extremely pleasing, okay? And effulgent, strong, ever youthful, wonderful linguist. I can't. I have to take a rest and a break. All right, so we'll continue more of this here. We'll get into this another time. And I have to go on. Okay, so if whoever wants to get up there, River Yamuna or Johan, whoever